Hey traders, how's it going? BrandonCarterFX here, aka Mr. Golden Ratio. It's the first official market breakdown video. You're welcome. We are here together. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss the next market breakdown, as well as hit that like button on this video. We're going to cover a couple of pairs, a few pairs that I am looking into potentially trading in the upcoming week. Today is June 21st. All right, so the upcoming week, some potential moves that I see happening with XRPUSD, aka Ripple, GBP, AUD, and AUDCAD. So some very great moves coming up, especially on AUDCAD, which as of today, June 21st, caught a nice bull move, but I'll be looking to add on positions or re-enter the market at some very key points. But we'll get into that right now. We'll probably hit GBP AUD first, AUDCAD second, and save XRPUSD, aka Ripple, last. All right. Welcome to the BCFX Signals YouTube channel. And make sure you're following on Instagram. We just celebrated finally surpassing the 10,000 mark on Instagram. So that's pretty fun to know. But yeah, so if you're on Instagram, just so you know, all necessary links will be in the description of this video. BrandonCarterFX is the official Instagram, as linked below. All right, so without further ado, we'll get into it. GBP AUD, AUDCAD, and XRPUSD. Let's get it. Hey traders, how's it going? So here we are, looking at the chart. We have pound AUD. So what I see potentially happening, and when I break it down to the 4 hour, it'll make more sense. But from the higher time frame, all right, so we're on the daily, and we can see the market kind of reacted up here in this zone, down here at this zone. What I simply see is an attempt to make its way back up to this zone, and right here is where would be personally my first target. So first target, and if you understand or have a general idea of how the markets work, then you understand why I would say this top region here would be my first target to potentially take any longs. But am I just going to enter the market now, right where it is? Absolutely not. What I would like to see, is and if this doesn't happen, then it doesn't happen, and we don't take the trade and we just move on to the next pair, right? But what I would like to see is a retracement back down into either this level here or around this zone here. Okay, that's what I personally would wait for. And again, like I said, it could very well just take off right from here, give me no pullback, and continue up. And, those of you that are students of mine, you know exactly how and why, if we did not get that pullback, exactly how we would approach the market in entering, as to not miss out on this potential 160 plus pip move. All right, but around 1.8563 would be my longer term target. But I would, again, like I said, I would like to see a retracement back down into this zone, this area, or this area. Now another scenario that could happen. So I favor the upside, for the longer term. I favor the upside. But as we know, the market can and sometimes does, a lot of times does actually, give us a surprise. We could very well come down and break through all of this, right? And come all the way down to, let's say, around 1.8190, which is around this zone here. We could break through all of this. That is a potential scenario. Okay, but in that case, we simply just would not enter the market. All right, but there are very specific things to wait for to happen, and if they don't happen, we don't enter. But this is just a general idea of what I'm looking to potentially happen for pound AUD. I'd like to get long, ride it up to 1.8563, but I'm not going to just enter here. I would like to see a retracement first back down into these levels here, or here would also be fine. And again, if it does not do that, we have, additional methods in which we would wait for it to happen to enter the market, as to not miss out on this move. Because just because it doesn't retrace down into this level doesn't mean that there isn't a way to enter the market. But just in general, that's what I'm looking to happen for pound AUD. So pound AUD, longer term, bullish up into 1.8563 zone, and then once that has been reached, I'd look to potentially take some shorts if price action presents itself. All right, so that's pound AUD. AUDCAD. Now AUDCAD, here we are looking at this is the weekly chart. So we've seen in the past, we've got some nice support levels, right? So I actually caught this, ended up exiting, caught about a good 60 pips off of it, but I see much more upside potential. So breaking it down, to the 4 hour. All right, and this is on Instagram, right? BrandonCarterFX. This is on Instagram. I actually caught the long position right down here at the tip of this wick on AUDCAD. All right, so yeah, I closed out at around just over 50 pips, literally right where the market is at the time of the recording of this video. So I caught this whole move, seen some potential resistance here, and exited. But longer term, I do see longs potentially all the way up into this green box zone that I have here. So that's what I will be looking for that. All right. Again, when you understand the movement of the market, and how the market responds to particular levels, everyone thinks that they know what a key zone is or a key level is. And a lot of times they have no clue. All right. They have no clue. They see a lot of this garbage that's on YouTube, and then all of a sudden they think they know something, right? But anyways, that's a whole nother topic. But longer term, I see potential for AUDCAD to continue up into up into around 94. Yeah, AUDCAD long up into 94. And potentially longer than that, right? But that would be first targets. And again, my reason for entry is just, obvious. We're at a key support zone. So, I took my position long right after this fake out here, and people probably seen structure consolidating, seen it start to break down and start to get short, probably put their stops right here. But it was actually a long move. If you know how to look at these markets and know what to look for. All right. So much more potential upside. So if this does continue to rally up into my preferred zone, we're looking at a potentially 230 pip move to the upside, right? Again, I closed my position out at just over 50 pips, but come next week, so again, today's June 21st, come next week, I could easily see, we have rules in place, things to look for, and how we would enter the market, but that is the target, around 93.70, 94, all right, which is this green box zone here, and that's AUDCAD. So GBPUSD long, AUDCAD long, and Ripple. So for Ripple, well, first of all, let me just do this. For those of you who know and understand how to use Fibonacci, it was about time for this market to turn around, right? So we had an A, B, C, 78.6 retracement hit, D, 127 extension hit. And I caught it again right at the tip of that wick at the bottom. So again, because that extension was hit in confluence with other things, it was about time for that market to turn around for AUDCAD. All right. And probably wondering, oh, well, why did he start his A there? Why didn't he start it there or there? Well, again, there's a method to my madness. There's reasons. And that's why the BCFX Online Trading Course exists. So you would understand and know why this is the A, B, C, and ultimately the D here for AUDCAD. All right. All right. Ripple. So let's move on to Ripple. Got a couple of low risk positions running and pending for a potential short. Reason being, looking at the bigger picture, we can see the market once it reaches up in this general zone, it's struggling, right? It struggles. So real simple. And when I look at it, I can already see, first of all, there's some, looking left, there's some confluence in why potentially here would be a good short, potentially. So amongst other things, I could easily see just with my naked eye, right? There's a 78 point. I haven't even drawn the retracement yet, but there's a 78.6 retracement that's been attempted, right? And that was with that one, right? That was with that 78.6 attempt there. We have, but since that attempt, we've stayed below the 61.8 retracement level. And notice how I have a green box here. This is where I have some entry orders. I have another green box here. But notice how it aligns with the 127 extension. And again, they don't call me Mr. Golden Ratio for nothing. I have an eyeball for these things, right? So I could pretty much eyeball where retracements are, where extensions are. But again, that in itself is a whole nother video. I'll get into that separately. But anyway, so around 40, 50, 50. So 40 cents and some change, I guess, right? 40, 50 is where I see potential short targets. We're still below the 61.8 retracement of this level, amongst other confluences that I see for potential shorts. Now, I could very well, again, and I even tell my students, This is the very same thing. It could very well just continue to blast through. But our job as a trader is to find high probability positions that over time in the long run will play out in our favor. So I don't foresee it breaking and staying above 45 cents in at least within the next week. Again, this is June 21st. So in the upcoming week, in the upcoming days, I don't foresee it staying above 45 cents. So I see a breakdown down to almost 40 cents, around 40.50. Okay, 0.4050. And that's just, again, looking at some confluences when you look left, right? Why that would be a target. Okay. So I'll do that. I also see some other things. So I would look to start taking off half my position, assuming this, goes in my favor. I would look to start taking off half of my position right around this level, obvious support level, right? It's been support previously, but as well, you also have, you could do this, right? So it could very well come down and start to react to this ascending trend line. So at that point, I would either do one of two things: move my stops past break even at that point, should it fall in my favor, or take off half my position at that point. Okay. And then let the rest ride to my overall targets. So there's that. And a lot of people are saying, oh, Ripple to the moon, to the moon. Let me do a real quick general breakdown as to why I don't see to the moon just yet. Because relatively speaking, we're nowhere really, right? We haven't really made any real moves. Looking at the weekly, look at where we are, right? Just take a look. I don't even have to speak on it. You can just take a look. Here. Could even do this. What do you know? Think that's a coincidence? 78.6. And again, I don't even use the fib tool. I could just eyeball these things, right? As to why there's some key zones. I think personally that we will attempt to hit this extension first before any real bull move. So we're talking, 20 cents, sub 20 cents, 25 cents, 20 cents. Okay. I really don't see it being a bull market, really, personally, until and unless we started to break above and trade regularly above this point. So all the way from 80 cents to where we currently are, even if it started to go up into the zone, still, because it could very well reach here and then short and then, come down to these market lows, sub 20 cents, 15 cents, etc. So again, looking at the bigger picture, I don't see it being a bull market. We can go into 60 cents. I still don't see it being a bull market. We can even go to 80 cents. Personally, I still don't see it being a bull market until and unless we start trading above 80 cents, 85 cents. Then, okay, see what the market is looking like at that point. And then maybe then I will start to change my bias on Ripple. But relatively speaking, we're nowhere in the market to be calling, big bulls, long-term bull runs. So that about wraps it up. So that was GBP, AUDCAD, and Ripple, and my ideas on it and my reasoning. Again, just giving the overall general idea. When it gets down to the actual technical reasons for, outsmarting the market and and getting in where I get in and getting out where I get out. You know, that's all on BCFXSignals.com and shared amongst students of mine, whether they're BCFX Online Trading Course students 1.0 and 2.0, which are both included in the course together, or Area 61, right? So Area 61 students. So either one, either or. Then we really dove into the details, the minute details and reasons for entering and exiting, where we enter and exit and why. But again, this is just an overall general idea of what I foresee potentially happening and why, and that's that. So I'll see you guys on the next video. Again, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. Hit that bell notification so you don't miss anything. And also Instagram, links in the description of this video below. Instagram.com/BrandonCarterFX. All right. I'll see you guys on the next video.